Hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about how to balance the chakras through movement and exercise. If you're interested in chakras or energy healing or yoga, and you're looking for tangible techniques and tools on how you can apply these energetic principles to your fitness, your workouts, your modern lifestyle, then you are really going to enjoy this discussion. Hi, I'm Jessi McMaster, and welcome to my channel, where I share practices, workouts, meditations, tips, and tricks to help you feel more connected, more grounded, and more empowered in your body. I want to be able to continue to share my approach to holistic health and fitness with you. So if you find this video helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe. All right, let's dive into one of my favorite topics, the chakras. Now, the chakras is a really big subject, and we can talk about it for a really long time. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to try to keep this simple. We're going to talk about just the 7 main chakras that go down the spine, up and down the spine, down the central channel, the Sushumna Nadi. We're going to identify where each of these chakras are located in the body, how to identify when the chakra is going out of balance or is blocked or anything like that, and then what exercises or movements you can do to start to bring balance into that energetic center. Now, if you're really interested in this subject, in energy healing, holistic living, and you want to learn more, one of the best things you can do is to attend a yoga teacher training. I run a yoga teacher training with Stella Luna Yoga School. It is an online hybrid program where this is what we teach you. We teach you holistic living for the householder, holistic energy healing for the beginner. And it is really a great stepping stone to kind of begin that journey. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description below. Now, if you don't know what a chakra is and you're looking for a little bit more detail, just what are chakras, there's also a link in the description to a blog post that explains this in a little more detail. So let's begin with our first chakra, which is our root chakra, also known as Muladhara chakra. This chakra is located at the base of the spine, and it has its physical expression in really our legs and our feet. The Muladhara chakra processes feelings around safety, support, stability. When this chakra is underactive or depleted, you might experience things like feeling disconnected with your body, feeling weak in your body. It might feel like a sense of apathy or insensitiveness. You might find yourself really living up in your head, so disconnected from the body, living up in your head, maybe forgetting to eat or forgetting to take care of your physical body. Or maybe you might feel like you don't belong, or you're not able to kind of stand up for yourself. When this chakra is overactive, it might show up as feeling greedy or dominant, wanting to be dominant over others or aggressive towards others. It can also show up as high blood pressure or poor circulation, maybe even ankle swelling or swelling in the lower legs. Now, if you're experiencing anything like this might be a sign that there's an imbalance in your root chakra, and exercises that you can do or awarenesses you can have in your body to help balance your root chakra is, number 1, focusing on your feet. Now, that might look like stretching your feet. That could be, stretching out your toes or your feet. That could be taking better care of your feet, being aware of the pressure of your feet on the floor when you do exercise or when you go on a walk. So bringing awareness to your roots, right? So most of the time we're upright beings and it's our feet making contact with the floor. So just the act and the awareness of, okay, what are my feet doing on the floor every step I take? How can I feel each part of my foot, my toes? That will help bring balance to the root chakra. Another thing you can do to bring balance to the root chakra is doing more lower body exercises. So really strengthening the muscles in the legs with squats or lunges or things like that. And finally, another way you can help bring balance to the root chakra is go on more walks. If you can walk, if it's nice outside, go walk outside, because being in nature is also a great way to balance this chakra. And while you're on your walk, be aware of your feet, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of every step you take. Walking, legs, feet, that's what we want to think when it comes to balancing out the root chakra. Moving up to our second chakra, our sacral chakra. In Sanskrit, it's called Svadhisthana chakra. And this chakra is located within our lower abdomen, right around our sexual organs. And its physical expression is within our hips. So think pelvis and hips. And this chakra is all about processing emotions around your sexual energy, your creativity. Think, our sexual organs is how we create new life. And it doesn't have to be a baby. It can be just, how are you manifesting? How are you creating things in your life? So it's this very soothing, watery, nurturing, creative energy. When the second chakra is underactive or depleted, you might experience things like feeling disconnected or detached from others. You might experience having tight hips and maybe some lower back pain. That's really common when this chakra is out of balance. Also, things like feeling like low self-esteem, a lack of creativity, feeling like you are repressing your emotions, maybe feeling shy. Also, being unable to go with the flow. Second chakra is ruled by the element of water. And so it's really about flow, and think hips, flowing hips, movement. And when we're not going with the flow, that is, we're not connecting with this chakra. Now, when the second chakra is overactive, so the other side where it's maybe a little too much, that can also show up as being really moody, feeling like you're being controlled by your emotions, or you don't have control of your emotions. They're kind of just like running wild, being overly aggressive, and also, again, tight hips and lower back pain. So if you're feeling any of these things, this might be a sign that there's an imbalance in your Svadhisthana chakra. So when it comes to movement and physical exercise, what you can do to start to bring balance into your second chakra is to open your hips. So hip circles, hip stretches, hip mobility, all that good stuff is really going to help open up and send energy into this chakra. Once you open your hips, we also want to create stability in this chakra because, we want the energy to flow freely. We don't want it to be overactive. We don't want it to be underactive. And so in that balance, the hips need mobility and stretching and opening, but then there's also a sense of stability. And so making sure when you're doing exercise that you're maintaining hip stability, especially if you're lifting weights or doing anything against resistance. And finally, to help balance this chakra, it's all about flow. Remember, we talked about the water element. So doing things that feel like play. Maybe that's dancing or hula hooping, or maybe going for a run feels fun, whatever it is. But anything that gives you this sense of flow where you can really just letting the energy flow. That's what this chakra is all about. Moving into our third chakra, also known as Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra. So this chakra is located above our belly button, but below our ribs. So right here in the center of the body. It is ruled by the element of fire, and it processes emotions around willpower, determination, your drive, right? Your ability to really get things done in your life. When this chakra is underactive or depleted, it might show up like a lack of self-confidence or self-doubt. It can also show up as a lack of motivation or drive, like your ability to get things done. This chakra also governs digestion. So when this chakra is inactive or depleted, it could show up as digestive issues or slow digestion. Also, feelings of nervousness or anxiety are also related to having a underactive Manipura chakra. When this chakra is overactive, that can show up as being very demanding or very critical. It could also show up as overactive digestion, kind of like a fiery digestion. It can show up as aggressiveness, anger, ulcers, excessiveness or possessiveness for money or people or things. And oftentimes that aggressiveness, that excessiveness, that overactive, critical can then lead to mental and physical exhaustion and fatigue. So if you're experiencing anything like this might be a sign that there's an imbalance in your Manipura chakra. So ways, physical exercise, movements that you could do to bring balance into this solar plexus, right? This energy center right here in the center of your body is number one, your breath, right? How you breathe, breathing into your abdomen, breathing energy into this area is really going to help stimulate, activate, and balance this energy center. Number two is abdominal exercise, things that engage your core muscles, right? Activating the muscles around the energy center is an amazing way to bring energy into that area, bring awareness into that area, and find balance. So, breath, abdominal exercise, and the last thing is heat. This energy center is ruled by the element of fire. So, bringing heat in, exercise and breath are going to bring heat into the body, but other things like, going into the sauna or going outside and getting some sunshine, these things are great for energizing this central solar plexus of the body. Moving into our fourth chakra, Anahata chakra, which is our heart chakra. It's located in the heart, in the center of the chest, and it processes feelings around love, around compassion, forgiveness, guilt, shame, like those deep, deep feelings, all that heart stuff. When the heart chakra is underactive, it can manifest itself as the inability to forgive. It can show up as not feeling loved or, this really feeling fearful of life and people and the world around you. It can show up as upper back and shoulder tension, even, chest tension. Think, this feeling of the shoulders rounding forward, you're like hiding and protecting it, right? It's underactive. We're holding it tight, right? It needs to be open. Also, because your thymus is located in your chest, which is the gland related to your immune system or your immune function, oftentimes with an underactive heart chakra, that can show up as, getting sick a lot or getting sick really often. A depleted immune system can be a sign that the heart chakra is a little underactive. When the heart chakra is overactive, it could show up as possessiveness, greediness, tightness in the chest muscles. Again, that can show up as also jealousy, codependency, things like this. So if you're experiencing anything like that in your life, a way or ways that you can bring your heart chakra, this energy center, Anahata chakra, into balance is by opening the chest and the shoulders. So creating mobility in the shoulders, stretching your chest, moving and stretching through the arms, the neck, the upper back, right? All different kinds of exercises. And then adding strength in too. So doing things that strengthen your arm muscles, strengthen your chest muscles, your upper back. Another great exercise for Anahata chakra is muscles that strengthen your spine and your back. So think muscles that take you into spinal extension, really opening. Notice, when I sit up tall, my chest automatically opens. There's this different energy about me. My heart is really open when my back muscles are strong. Anything that kind of brings you into a back bend in yoga, different back bends like camel or cobra, up dog, they're all really great for helping to bring Anahata chakra into balance. Another little tip or trick to help bring this heart chakra into balance is by touch. So when you're exercising, bringing your hands to your body so that you can really feel, okay, your alignment. So if you're doing lunges or squats, being aware, okay, are my hips stable or is my core engaged? Touch is a really good thing for a really beneficial and helpful thing for the Anahata chakra. So bringing, incorporating touch into your practice will be really helpful. And finally, breath. Right? Because, right here in the center of the chest, the lungs are right here. Everything is attached. So big breaths into the chest cavity that really open the lungs and the heart are going to be really, really helpful for balancing out your heart chakra. Moving into our fifth chakra, which is our Vishuddha chakra, our throat chakra. It's located in your throat and it processes feelings around communication and expression, especially self-expression and creative expression. When the throat chakra is underactive, that might show up as communication issues with yourself or with others, the inability to communicate healthy boundaries and stick with them. That's a really common thing with the throat chakra. It might also manifest itself as neck or jaw tension, TMJ, lockjaw, all these sorts of things. So how do I express myself, express my feelings? And so all that, if you feel like you're getting stuck in this area of your body, it might be a sign that that throat chakra needs a little bit of attention. You might also experience a block in your creative abilities or your ability to express yourself. These are all all signs of an underactive throat chakra. When the throat chakra is overactive, this might show up as the inability to listen, excessive talking, the inability to sit quiet or still. Like you constantly have to like interject yourself into everything. You can't just be present, be there, being, you might get really uncomfortable sitting still or uncomfortable when it's silent. Another thing that shows up in this overactive throat chakra is, I like to think of it like a lack of integrity. So where you are constantly talking about things and saying things, you're not actually acting on them. And so, finding that balance between talking and listening, between saying things and actually, taking action towards that. All of these things are really important when it comes to your own self-expression, your communication, how you represent yourself in the world. If any of this sounds familiar, it might be a sign that your throat chakra is a little off balance. So things you can do, exercises you can do to help start to bring balance into the Vishuddha chakra. Number one is open up your neck and your jaw. So neck mobility, rolling your head around, getting rotation in your neck is really, really important, adding these sorts of things in. Another thing that really helps to bring balance into the throat chakra is vocalizing, even if it's just sound. So while you're exercising, audible exhales are a great way to, one, connect to your core strength, but also they are a great way to open up and tap into the energy of the throat chakra. So making noise when you exercise, right? Allowing some noise to come out really helps to tap into this energy of the throat chakra, your creative expression, the way you communicate, the way you show up in life. And finally, another thing that I like to bring up and talk about when it comes to Vishuddha chakra is being direct and purposeful. So when it comes to your fitness and your exercise, having a plan, having something, whether you write it out or whatever your way of planning is, but having a plan for today's workout and then executing that plan, setting an intention for your yoga practice or an intention for this movement time, and being purposeful and direct and executing on that is really helpful for supporting the energy of Vishuddha chakra, your throat chakra. Moving into our sixth chakra, or our third eye chakra, Ajna chakra, located, it's actually in the center of the head in the pineal gland, but we can think of it kind of the third eye, right between the eyebrow point here. This chakra processes feelings around insight, perception. So how we perceive the world, how we perceive even our own imagination, insight, and our intuition. When this chakra is underactive, it might show up as headaches or poor memory, eye problems, feeling absent-minded, or constantly forgetting things. Because of its relation to your eyes, it can also show up as balance issues. So if you're, feeling a little off balance or even getting some kind of like vertigo symptoms, right? All these things are related. Feeling confused. This can also show up as not being able to think for yourself and constantly having to rely on others or constantly seeking validation from others. But it could also show up as really rigid beliefs, not being able to kind of think outside of your box, whatever that box is. When the Ajna chakra is overactive, that might show up as difficulty concentrating, fantasizing too much, constant daydreaming. It can also show up again as balance issues, or kind of on both sides. If you're having balance issues, it might be something to look at your Ajna chakra and find ways to balance it. So if any of this sounds familiar, or there are things that you're experiencing, it might be a sign that that chakra, it might be a little off balance. So ways that you can bring your third eye to balance is, number one, balance exercises. Single leg or single arm exercises are really, really helpful. Another thing that is really helpful for the third eye is doing whatever exercises you can with your eyes closed. Balance exercise with your eyes closed is very helpful. Even just helping you kind of bring that attention inward and focus inward with the eyes closed while you move your body, making sure you're not going to bump into anything, obviously. But that is really, really helpful for tuning in and harnessing the energy of this, this internal guidance system, which is the third eye. And finally, another thing that I really like to do for the third eye chakra is try new things. challenge yourself, do things that you wouldn't, throw new exercises into your routine or switch up your exercise environment, whatever it is, but bring something new, bring something that is going to force you to concentrate a little harder while you exercise. And that's why the balance exercises are really, really helpful, because balance exercises, they force you to concentrate on what you're doing, right? You really can't do anything else when you're standing on one leg. And then you can make that even harder. You can stand on unstable surfaces, or you can make things as hard as you want. So that is really balance practices, challenging yourself, forcing yourself to really concentrate, playing memory games with yourself while you exercise. And you can do that in lots of different ways, but finding little ways to trick your mind is a great way to balance out the Ajna chakra. And finally, we finish up this discussion by talking about the crown chakra, the seventh chakra, Sahasrara. This chakra, the crown chakra, processes feelings around connectedness and oneness, around spirituality, and this kind of one love, big picture thinking. When the crown chakra is underactive, it might show up as a stubbornness, kind of going back to the third eye chakra, inability to think out of your box. Then when we go into the crown chakra, this might show up as like extreme prejudice or bigotry, not being open to other people's ways of thinking or other people's beliefs, or maybe not even being open to spirituality at all. It can also show up as cloudy thinking or indecisiveness, right? Kind of stubborn, stuck, indecisive, that sort of idea. When the crown chakra is overactive, that can show up as kind of irrational thinking, overbearing, really trying to push your beliefs on others, even things like being addicted to your spirituality or your beliefs and then ignoring what your body needs, things like that. And if any of this sounds familiar, it might be a sign that your crown chakra could use a little bit of love. And so movements and exercises that we can do, number one is to slow down. Integration, right? How you recover from your workouts, how you allow your exercise, your yoga practice, your Pilates to integrate itself on a cellular level is really, really important. So slowing down and finding ways to practice with a little more intention is a great way to tap into your crown chakra. Another great way to tune into the energy of the crown chakra is by inverting yourself. So going upside down, and that doesn't have to look like a headstand or a handstand. It can. Doing simple things like elevating your legs up the wall, for 5-10 minutes. Doing things that kind of flip you upside down, inverting yourself, getting your head below your heart is a wonderful way to tune into this connectedness, this big picture thinking that the crown chakra allows us. And finally, for the crown chakra, again, it's the sense of finding flow. So finding movements that allow you to feel a little more fluid. Dancing is really great for this, or whatever it is. There's a lot of free movement activities you can do that feel like play, that feel like fun, right? When we're having fun, when we're in a state of flow, it empowers us to have a different kind of agency over our own physical body. And you're adding movement into it. It is such an empowering thing. So finding flow is another great way to tap in and bring in this energy of the crown chakra. So at this point, you may be thinking, whoa, well, that was a lot, Jess. Where do I begin? You never go wrong starting down at your root. So, that place of stability and support is always a good place to start. But just pick one exercise, pick something that you can begin to add into your daily life. What's most important is that you remember that this is a lifelong journey. You're not supposed to get all of this done at once, and you're never going to get it all done because life is going to continue to throw curveballs at you. You're going to continue to be learning and growing. This awareness of your chakras, of your energetic system, is just a tool for investigation. And I hope that you can take this information with you as you go back into your life and maybe come back to this video and go back to these different sections and remind yourself of the energy within you and how you can continue to check in with these different energy centers, apply practices and techniques that allow you to activate and balance that energy so that you can really feel satisfied, fulfilled, energized, strong, and empowered as you move through life. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Once again, if you found this video helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe, and also check out all the links I put in the description. Thank you so much for sharing your time and sharing this discussion about the chakras with me. Thank you. And until next time.